Hey, leaders, one of the biggest traits and probably the hardest one, I think, when it comes to trying to decide and to look for new leaders is for people to understand that God calls imperfect people. And that's actually who he's looking for. And it can be so hard for people to understand that because they think they have to be so polished and they have to be perfect. And they might see you leading the group and they might see you in the state that you're in and not realize that like themselves, at one point, you were starting out as well. And so, one thing to look for when looking for new leaders and apprentices is we're looking for imperfect people. And so, you may need to help the people in your group understand that. Encourage them with your own story. Share some of the experiences that you had as you grew and became the leader that you are today. Something else I think it's really helpful is to remind them of some of key people in scripture that we look at as great leaders and remind them that when God called them that they also were imperfect people. Right? Moses was a drunk and a murderer. Elijah suffered from depression and yet God used him. Rahab was a prostitute. David, King David, a murderer and an adulterer. Peter was someone who denied Jesus 3 times at a very critical juncture here in his journey. And Paul who wrote a huge chunk of the New Testament, Paul persecuted and likely killed Christians before coming to faith. And so, who does God look to lead his church? Who does he call to lead grow groups and to be that next leader? He calls imperfect people. And so, how do we help people to understand that? Hope you guys are having a great week. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. And thank you guys again for everything you do to minister to the people here at Crossway Church.